Good day, good evening, everyone. Welcome to a special stream. For those of you who are joining the stream or not joining the stream, who are watching this later, I'm going to start this at the 4-minute mark. So if you're watching early or later, 4-minute mark is when we're going to jump into what I want to talk about. I'm not going to go through reading everybody tonight who's here. Maybe I will. First of all, I want to share. I got a message from Shay, and Shay, I don't purposely ignore you at all. I'll look for you. I just haven't seen questions from you. There's a lot that I miss. I'm sorry. My apologies. Hopefully everybody's doing fantastic tonight. I know I'm a minute or two late getting on here, and I want to start with Mike Ball sent me. And a letter sent to the American Medical Association by some doctors. I can't get into what they're talking about, but you should read it. And here is the link. And yes, definitely watch. It's a short PDF. Should be. You should read it. It has to do with the approval of, I don't know, certain drugs or something like that. About as best as I can say, guys. So this is going to be a little different tonight. I got some surprising stuff, I think, to talk to, especially with what I've been talking about lately, or how I've been talking lately. John Cream, hello. Mike Ball, Jason Frew, Armor of Light, Mark Harris, CK, Good Servant, Jacob Law, hello Jacob. This is going to surprise some people what I'm about to say tonight, I think. Good Servant, Mrs. Marks, hello. Mr. Earlier Show, there was no earlier show. I heard a lot of people were not getting, or Mike told me he didn't get notification on either channel, so I assume most people didn't. So that's why I did that little upload earlier to let you know this was going to be here. Carbide, Mark Harris, Jack Wolf, Jason, I think I said you, Jason Frew, James Dill, Carbide, Robert Klotz. How is everybody? Scott is not from here, though. Hello. Shadowed Solitude, back for more. Alexandros, David Clark. We got quite a few people for an unscheduled night, 123, and we're just barely into this. Mrs. Marks, take something to dry up your sinuses, Rich, if that's what you're having trouble with. Just had a couple of family members get over it. Nose ran like a river. I'm definitely having that, and a lot more post-nasal drip than I normally get with allergies. But I don't feel sick. I don't feel bad. My son Michael did test positive for COVID, and so did his stepson. The difference is Michael actually got some in-home IV fluids yesterday. He's getting ivermectin tomorrow. He's already got a Z-Pack, and he's already feeling better off of that. But the 13-year-old, the one they're trying to get them to get certain things at school, at his school, they're giving it for free, of course. And his father wants him to get it. Anyway, he tested positive, and his reaction was, I don't quite feel as good as I normally do, but I'm okay. So it shows you how it affects the young. Yeah, Armor, nobody was getting notifications. I don't know why. All right. Now we're 4 minutes, 20 seconds. I have notes because let me give you a little background. A few things have been coalescing in my mind, so to speak, but not put together, little pieces. I've mentioned some of those pieces on the streams, in particular the Revelation 12 sign, which actually the anniversary of that is tomorrow, even though it was September 17th, or sorry, September 23rd, 2017. That was Feast of Tabernacles. The Feast of Tabernacles is tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. And that's one aspect of this. Another aspect, I'm pulling things abstractly from a lot of different places. And I don't know if I had a dream to put it all together, but I woke this morning knowing that something big is coming soon. Call it intuition with a little bit of logic and some feeling. I don't know. But you know how I felt about things lately, that they weren't going in the right direction. So let me look at my notes. So I really don't know why suddenly I came to this conclusion. I titled this, you ready for this? Shock. Because that's what I felt this morning is coming. Mike Ball said that, what's this called? Code Monkey Z said he expected something to happen today. I expect it to happen tomorrow, or later than tomorrow. And I'll get into details what I think is going to happen. I'm going to give you a whole layout of what I think is going to happen. Of course, I'm going to be wrong about stuff. I might be wrong about 100% of it, but I want to tell you guys because I feel so strongly about this. And there's a lot of different biblical and non-biblical stuff that I put together that tells me that it's now. You remember the Q post? It's going to be biblical. I think that has three aspects to it. Timing is one aspect. So it would be around the holy days. And I don't think there's enough time left to start in the spring holy days to get it all worked out in time, because this is going to be a long, drawn-out thing, and I'll get into that. The extent of the events, meaning biblical in scope, the metaphorical, it's going to be biblical, it's going to be huge. That's the second part of it. Actually, there's four aspects. I think it's going to lead to the fall of Babylon the Great. In the end, like I said, we're going to have a lot of months of going through a lot of crap to get there, but it's going to start this month. I'm convinced. If it doesn't start by the 28th of this month, then I'm wrong. But I actually think it's going to start tomorrow or sometime in this weekend, somewhere in there. The other biblical aspect would be, I have a feeling that the reason why they know, remember the phrase, nothing is going to stop what is coming, nothing. What if they know, or there's so much information that we don't have from these missing biblical books or other sources that they may have that we don't know about, but they have done a pinpoint down to it cannot possibly go past this point. And so they know nothing is going to stop it. And that tells me it doesn't matter if it's Trump involved or the U.S. military or other militaries or other leaders. It doesn't matter. Nothing is going to stop it. Nothing. Because it's going to be biblical. Another little tidbit mixed in with it, Trump said it had to be fixed this year, not 2022. He's made that statement about 3 or 4 times. So I expect a major, and I mean major, unexpected jolt between now and the 3rd week of September. Now, it may start with the Arizona audit results or something that we're expecting, but we're going to get some kind of massive shock that nobody is looking at right now. I'm convinced of that. Nobody. And then it will be what the Q post said about being an avalanche or carpet bomb. It's just going to rain heavy and hard. And by the way, I don't think anybody until this point, maybe at this point it's happening, are getting arrested. Not before. And maybe I'll get into that, why I think that. Again, I think it could happen at any time, starting tomorrow onward. I don't think it'll be today. It would be very interesting if one of the most satanic days of the year, 9/11, is switched around this year. So that would be, Saturday, I think. But again, I think it will happen. See, the Old Testament was the pattern. We're not in that system, but that was a pattern of things to come. It was a shadow of things to come. And God does things on time. He just does. So after something minor or something that gets attention, like the Arizona audits or whatever, that won't be the big one. That'll be like getting people to start looking. See, I think this has got to be so massive and so shocking that people will never forget it. It's got to be more shocking than 9/11. More shocking than 9/11. Why? Especially us in the West. We have this short-term thing where, yesterday's news is yesterday's news. Let's move on. And unless it's dramatic, a Pearl Harbor, a 9/11, something like that, we just turn the page and go on to something else. It's not Afghanistan. And by the way, I don't think anything that's happened thus far, not one thing, is part of the Great Awakening. I don't think it is. It's pretty much routine stuff. Like I said, I followed politics for 20, 30 years, 40 years, whatever, 50 years, almost 50 years. This stuff happens. You have people go up and down with their popularity, and people all of a sudden turn against the president and turn against this, that, and the other, but it's forgotten. And, you can have someone as abysmal as Jimmy Carter with his 37% approval rate. Up until 3 or 4 days before the election, he was tied neck and neck with Reagan. Now, the late breakers broke to Reagan, and that's what was the difference. But the Americans have a short span of attention to keep all these things in. And so whatever this is coming, it's not going to be short. Now, I mean, it's going to be so dramatic that that will be the Great Awakening. Then everybody will be tuned in at once. Then I think we can go to an emergency broadcast system. I don't even need to do that. Just take over the airwaves. And the media will have to be taken over, because otherwise it'll just be bypassed or lied about. They can bypass or lie about or spin, as they say, but nowadays it's just lie or omit about whatever happens in Arizona and what it means. They can do that. And we live in a country where everybody believes everything that they see on TV. The majority do. I'm sorry they do, but they do. Now, when I'm talking about people with short attention spans, they're not awake, they need a shock, it's present company accepted. The people here, for the most part, you've done your awakening. And nothing I've seen since Trump left office or since the election has been a great awakening. It just hasn't. It's business as usual. No different than the hostage situation that went bad under Jimmy Carter and those people that died in the helicopter trying to rescue them. These things are forgotten. It doesn't really wake people up long term. But whatever this shock is, it's going to wake them up. And that's when they can start showing what these elite have been really doing. And I want to make sure I'm not missing something. Pardon me a moment. Again, it's going to be a short duration of time. It's got to be short so it's intense. Not that the whole thing is going to be over with fast. It won't be. But the information dump has to be, it's got to almost be like a hurricane throwing you up against the wall. Because that's how asleep these people are. They need to be thrown up against the wall. And over again. And that's why it's not going to stop. Once it starts, it's going to be a deluge. It's going to hammer everybody. I see an extremely likely stock market crash. All the markets crashing. Why? Because when the elite know it's hitting the fan, it's really their money that's in there that holds it together. They're going to want to pull it out because they're going to see a new system's coming. So they don't want to lose it. But I think they're going to be locked out. In any case, I see a stock market crash. I see what we're seeing right now with shortages and things like that. We talked about it in the last stream. That's possibly going to greatly increase. I don't know if this what is coming is going to cause great civil unrest or not. It probably will, because you have these loony bins who think that rioting in Portland and burning cities down is a good thing. And this time, they're not going to get away with it. You're going to have people on the other side fighting them back. Pardon me a minute. Communications will likely be disrupted. Mostly so you can get people off of whatever they're doing on Twitter or whatever and paying attention to what's really going on. Again, whenever all this information really dumps, I think whatever that day is, whenever we get the first major shock, I think you can take it to the bank that the arrests have probably mostly taken place by then, which tells me, since I think it's so close, they may actually, for the first time, really be happening now. I have no inside information. I have nothing. This is just me thinking it through. And like I said, it just seemed to coalesce in my sleep. And I woke up this morning knowing that it's about to hit. And again, I could be 100% wrong. This is my opinion. So expect hard times for a time, probably many months. This is where you're going to have to go around and wet nurse people who have been really asleep, because they're going to be jolted to the fact that they have satanic pedophiles in charge of them. And worse, there's stuff, I feel there's going to be stuff coming out that we don't even know is going on. And will shock us. Then somewhere along this path of the shock and all that's going to keep going and going and going, we're going to start seeing a drip of the truth of technologies that have been hidden from us. But that'll start small. It might be truth about the link that I left that Mike gave me about certain drugs and what they really can do. That'll be revealed. I really want to say what they are, but I just can't. That's all going to end too. But before that ends, this platform, when this crap hits the fan, this platform will almost assuredly be taken down. All the stops will be pulled out to stop people from communicating. But I'm talking about by the deep state people. Hopefully, there's something in place behind the scenes that allows us to get back to getting the information out to people. But I have a feeling a lot of it is going to be word of mouth, just person to person, passing it. The truth about certain things that people wear, if that really protects you or not. The truth about what's really in certain things that are going around right now. Truth about med beds, free energy devices, drip, drip, drip. It's not all going to come at once. Perhaps, and this has been in the back of my head, perhaps rapid transportation ability. What if they have something like Star Trek, where you could transport from one area to another? Don't laugh, it's probably possible. If the human mind can think it, it's probably likely that we can do it. The bottom line is that the truth is about to be revealed. Truth regarding every lie that has been fostered upon us, but not all at once. Like I said, the truth has to drip with technologies and things like that. The other, I think, has got to be slammed at people. like what these people have been doing. Now, there may be a delay. There may be the Arizona audit. That's absorbed a little bit. And then you get a whole bunch of other announcements about other things that are going on that we're not getting announcements of right now. I don't know. This is hypothetical. But then you're just going to get these Moabs that are going to come, and then the carpet bombing. And there won't be a day that goes by where there won't be any big revelation coming out. And I think this is going to be months of it. And there's going to be people that are going to freak. But know that God is in control. And I really think that, it's my opinion, that we're not going to go back to the government that we had before. We're just not going to do it. And therefore, it will be the fall of Babylon the Great. And we can usher in maybe the theocracy we've all been looking for. I don't know. That's out there. That's months and months and maybe a couple years out there. But I really think we're there, guys. And that's basically it. So I wanted to do a special stream because I do think it may start tomorrow. Kay says, and thank you very much, Kay, for your continued contributions. Thank you. Thank you to everybody that's contributed in the past couple of days. You blessed me more than you know. She says she's been on this page for quite some time. I could just feel it coming. I couldn't feel it coming, but I had these little disconnects. Like, to me, they were disconnected. You know where I've been with, I don't believe there's a great awakening going on. I don't believe patriots are in control yet. But I think they're waiting to pounce. And something tells me tomorrow or later this week. But I definitely think this holy day season in particular, somewhere in there, that I think it ends around the 28th this year. But there's so many different things that tie into this year. So we'll see. So I think we're going to have to do a lot of praying, especially for other people. A lot of caretaking we're going to have to do for other people. I think God has wakened those up. Those of us who are awake, we've been awakened for a reason, so that we can comfort those. And if you notice, most of the people that are awake, they're Christian. So that we can comfort those who are not awake. And this is going to bring a ton of people to God, especially when they learn how they tried to hide God from us with evolution and a spinning ball and a exploding universe, that type of deal. When all that truth comes out, and you have maybe somebody in authority that's saying, yes, that's a lie, then they'll believe it, because then somebody in authority then they'll start to believe the other side, because they're going to see all the things that have been done to them. And if you don't think it needs to be that great of a shock, the most tyrannical governor in the whole United States through this whole thing has been Gavin Newsom. And they're saying he has an 85% chance of staying in. These people just don't get it. They need the slam. They need the punch. A hard punch. Yes, Weston, I do. I think real data will be exposed about everything. Thank you, Stanley. Mike says, you have no idea how you have hope again. I never lost hope, Mike. I just had no hope in what was going on in man. And I still don't. I really think this is God doing it. And God, he may have a 95% chance of using Trump through this and our military or whatever, but don't be totally blown away if it's something totally different. In reality, once all this crud is brought to the surface, how can I say this? It's like if you keep pouring gasoline all over your living room floor, and a spark hits it and it burns the house down. You build a new house. Do you want to go back to pouring the gasoline on the floor again? And that's how I think people are going to associate the utter satanic sickness. There's no even word, I don't think, in the English language strong enough for the evil that has been perpetrated upon us, and the sickness and the death and the destruction and the holding people down under their thumb. We've all been under a tyrannical system long before 1776. We get a little teeny reprieves here and there where we think we're free from that. But we see today we're not. Things can change like that. And you can be told your business can't be open. And you can't make a living. And you have to stay at home. And you have to wear this. And you can't do this unless you have this in your body. So are people really going to want to go back to the same system? I don't know. I would hope not. That's why I think this is God's system potentially coming in. That is a good point. I lost it, though. Do I think the swamp is going to be drained? It'll either be drained. These people are going to want to go to jail because they're not going to want to be in front of the people. They're going to be protected at Gitmo. Charlie is Master Universe and Rich is just his assigned puppet. The point was, I got to find that. That was a good point someone made. All of a sudden the screen jumped. That's right, Big Papa. No fear. Nothing to fear. Trump has controlled opposition. Well, guess what? If he is, we are going to learn that real soon. If he isn't, we're going to learn that too. That doesn't even concern me, because all things I believe are going to be revealed, not all at once, but a lot of it pretty up front. There you go, Mitchell. God Almighty will drain it, guaranteed. It had something to do with Christians. It said something like the Christians may be awake, but not most Christians aren't awake. That is very true, very true. But see, they're in the Babylon the Great system. They're not only under Babylon the Great. Pardon me. The scratchiness of the throat is not a good sign. They are they're under mystery Babylon the Great as well. That's right, Dean. All things work together for the good, but they may take a while. Hello, country boy. Thank you, Michelle. Well, I just had to share it with you because that's how I feel. I can tell you, if it doesn't happen by the end of September, and like I said, I've always thought the timing with them saying it's going to be biblical, it's tied into something biblical, and that's certain times of the year, appointed feast times, appointed times. And Mike just sent me something. Code Monkey Z says, that's Ron Watkins. I think I'm subscribed to him. I haven't been on Telegram much lately. It's real. It's on the way. Unless some unaccounted for outside force stops it, it will be huge. Less than 12 hours to go. And that was at 7:55 p.m. So that's 7 minutes ago. Mike's keeping us up to date. Then he says, War Room, 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Be there, big show. What is War Room? Is that War Room? Is that the one with Steve Bannon? War Room. Less than 12 hours to go. So that would be tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. Something just tells me the anniversary of that Revelation 12 sign is not there for nothing. It just isn't. America's still 85% Christian, and that's a problem for them. Yep, Ben, I agree. And about 95% armed. That's really bad for them. Well, thank you, Robert. I hope I'm right. Like I said, a lot of it's just intuition, putting little strands together. But anyway, past this holy day, then you get into the spring. So first of all, you didn't fix it in 2021. Like Trump said, it has to be fixed in 2021. He's made that statement several times. It has to be fixed in 2021, not 20. In fact, he said not 2022. So we have this one little window of holy days, and it's tomorrow to about the 28th. So you got on the 15th day of the month is the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles. It runs until the 21st day of the month. And then you have the last holy day, which is interesting. It's called the last great day. That's the 8th day. So that would be the 15th, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, 23 days after tomorrow. So that would take us to about September 30th. So this month. So I guess that is, yes, Steve Madden War Room. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Oh, it's on Rumble. Thanks for that, because I would not know where to look for it. Country Boy says, yes, you're right. We're all going to get disclosure soon. Maybe not 100% of everything, but we deserve to know what the heck's going on. Yeah, and Country Boy, I think it's going to be ugly. I really do. I think it's going to look horrible at first. Really bad. Because you're going to have people freaking out. And they need to freak out. That's the thing. They need to freak out. If they don't freak out, they won't remember it. It'll be just like, ugh. 90% of the people, I've been trying not to focus on purpose. Like, I'm not trying not to focus, but I'm trying to act like normal Americans, where I don't watch the evening news. I might see a little here and there, and I hear people talking. And I do a little Telegram or whatever in YouTube, as you know. But for the most part, I've been trying to be like most Americans. And as most Americans, I'm not seeing anything that would jolt me awake if I wasn't awake. I consider myself already awake. So that's why I don't see there is a great awakening yet. All of this is like, I hate to be graphic, but all of this to this point has been foreplay. Compared to what's coming, it's like a firecracker compared to a Moab. That's the difference. And it has to be that way. Yeah, Storm Chaser, most Americans are clueless. I talk to people that I think have a clue. And 30 seconds in the conversation, like, oh, I stepped in it. This person isn't any more awake than the concrete under our feet. But even this thing with the War Room is on frankspeech.com. Is it on both, or would you have two different ones? Hello, Pirate Pete. I wouldn't be surprised. This video has been removed for adult language. Remember the stream we did yesterday? No more than 3 minutes after the stream ended, I get a notification, a copyright strike. I saved it. Remember the title of the stream, What Has Killed the Most? Copyright content, 10 things NASA doesn't want you to know. I don't even remember playing that. 10 things NASA doesn't want you to know? Claimed by a Diagonal View. Now, I'm pretty good at not, for the most part, I don't put the audio in there unless I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a copyright issue. I was like, I just can't believe this. Wake Me Up When September Ends, song by Green Day. But yeah, don't expect the other side to just melt into the woodwork. There's going to be a fight. And if they don't take down mainstream media early, the propaganda is going to be horrific. The propaganda is going to be horrific. And you are going to have to try with people, because people are going to start going to the extremes. This is what I think will happen. The people that love the MSNBCs and all those to get their nightly news and their truth, they're going to be so propagandized and turning against, well, you see how they've already orchestrated it, or they are in the midst of orchestrating it now. Those who are vaccinated against those who are whatever. Always follow CDC guidelines, always. They know how to manipulate people. They've been doing it a long time. And what's happened is because people have left their first love, so to speak. Most of the people in this country are Christians, but they're not really Christians. They don't participate. They don't live the life. They call themselves Christians, but they don't. I don't even know how to put it. They don't get their direction from the Holy Spirit and how they lead their life. So when things hit the fan, they're going to be willing to go out there, these Christians, and fight other people over differences in what they think the government is up to or whatever. Yeah, lukewarm Christians at the best, yes. There you go, Vintage. Excellent. Good way to put it. They don't have a relationship with the Lord. You guys will always come up with the right answers. But if nothing big happens tomorrow, we may not do the stream until Friday since we're doing it tonight. It depends on there's things I have to get done. Usually on Tuesday I go out and get groceries and things like that. And there's things I do on the 2 nights of the week that I don't do the stream. So I'll probably do that tomorrow instead. But if something big happens, I'll make sure I'm here. I'll get up early and go to the store or something. YouTube took Dean Odell down. Dean Odell. I don't know him, but okay. What do you think of Mike from Around the World on Paul Bagley? Never heard of him. Paul Bagley I've heard of. Let's see something. I can't picture him though. Please spell his name. B-A-I-G-L-Y. I'm going to know him as soon as I see him. Just, oh, yeah, I know who he is. Mr. Traditional fortune teller comes to mind. Mr. Traditional Prophecy Man. Shay, you here? I got your message, Shay. If I missed if I miss your comments here, it's not on purpose. It definitely. I don't shy away from anybody, but I see maybe 1 out of 10 comments. I just do. That's about what I see. And when it's something like tonight, we have over 300 people combined with the 2 channels. They're going. In fact, I just had a whole 8. Because that's how many I can display on my screen at once. I had a whole 8 shove up at once. So just copy and paste and just hit it a couple times, and I'll eventually see it. And if I don't, ask someone in the chat to try to get my attention. So I purposely don't try to shy away from anybody. So my apologies there. Roger is great. Who's Roger? High Vibe says, my intuition is telling me something big is happening, but I don't feel it's as bad. It's a good boom. I also try my best to never fear. Give all fear to God. Oh, yeah, we don't have to fear. We don't have to fear. We just have to learn how to deal with people for a period of time. Sort of like how we had to deal with people who were saying, you can't come in here unless you have this on, or you can't do this, or whatever, on steroids. It's going to be sort of like that. End of the world. Hello. You'll wake the Republic. We have 318. I'd be interested in the split. 322. Now, how many people is it showing right now in Mr. Thrive and Survive? That's all I need to know. Because I'm showing 322 combined. Who's going to be the 33rd thumbs up? Hey, I'm at the 33rd parallel. That means you know what that means I am. Someone actually said that to me once. You live the 33rd. Oh, thank you. 250s. Okay, so we got over 100 on, that's, I think, a first, over 100 on Wake the Republic. Oh, no, it's not quite 100. About 80. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Good for you, Mike S. Awoke in 2016 after being sober for a year and still sober today. Fantastic. Congratulations. Absolutely. Congratulations. So we're going to have Taliban in every state soon. That's cool with everyone, right? I don't think that's going to happen, Ben. Have I listened to Negative 48 yet? If so, what do you think? I have not listened to Negative 48. That doesn't even ring a bell. Is that one of the ones I probably subscribed to and nothing's come up in the feed yet? Let me see. Oh, Scott McKay. I have listened to him. Is that his new channel name? Because they keep banning his old one. I'm not. How do I put this with Scott McKay? I think he's a good guy, but I think he says the same thing over and over and over and over again. And I also think he doesn't say much. He talks a lot, but doesn't say much. I'm a fool. I'm the fool. I actually go out there on a limb and give predictions and stuff. He's as bad as Simon Parks. To me, it was always a path to nowhere. How many people saw the movie? Probably not many. Peaceful Warrior. Probably 20 years old now. About a guy who meets a guru. He is he's a gymnast. He breaks his leg and different things like that. Anyway, they went on this trip together, him and his guru, and he said, there's something you need to see, and I think you're ready for it. So they hike up this long mountain or whatever. They finally get to the top. And the kid who is under the guru, he says, I don't see it. He says, he looks down, he says, it's right by your foot. And it was a rock. He said, you had me do all this for a rock? And the point was, the journey was more important than the destination. And he said, I didn't know what we're going to find. It's different every time. It just happened to be a rock by your foot this time. So it was like the journey to nowhere. That's what I think of Scott McKay. It's like he leads you on a journey, but you don't get far. Pardon me, guys, just a moment. All right, guys. Sorry, I had to clear my sinuses. Should you stop paying your taxes now? Yeah, that was another thing. Remember that was going around? See, I don't like all that. I don't like all that guessing. Like, if I were you, I'd wait until the very last minute before you pay your taxes, because that's all going to be revoked. Everybody was saying stuff like that. From X23 report to Simon Parks to whoever. Country Boy says his prediction is 45 will come out and be declared the president. We'll get 9/11 intel when everybody briefed on all the arrests that were made and justice being served. Could very well be. Just got a YouTube notification. Have I done something wrong? But mixed in that, first of all, before 45 is declared the president, there's got to be a lot of information out there, and some process has to happen for that to happen too, which may involve all the people in a huge uproar. See, there's something about this election we're still not being told. I don't know what it is, but I still think there's something bigger than what we know is behind the curtain that's going to be unveiled. 9/11 info. To me, it's got to be bigger than that, but that would be part of it. And everyone briefed on all the arrests were made. That's when, before they were briefed, or when they're briefed on the arrests, right? They have to happen at the same time, in my opinion. You say, okay, this person, HRC, was arrested, and this person was arrested, and here's why. And then you see, they have to see to believe. You have to see the video of what they did. Thank you, Mrs. Marks. I appreciate it. I do know I have bad allergies right now because the roof of my mouth was itching today. And I have to really have allergies bad before I'll take allergy medicine, and I took it today. I'm really getting my arms cut, huh? Actually, I'm bulky now, so they're a little bit less cut than what they used to be. They're bigger, though. The shirt I wore yesterday's stream, I was joking about. I said this is the last time I can wear this shirt until I cut again, and I was joking about having to cut it off because they were so tight on the arms. It almost came true. It was like when I took it off, they got stuck, and it was like I was in a straitjacket. It was like, oh no, what am I going to do? Finally, I got it loose, but anyway. Kay says they will release the results from most of all states at once, in your opinion. It's going to take something. It's going to have to be one slam after the other, after the other, after. They're not going to. It's like Muhammad Ali and rope-a-dope. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that. It's going to be you're on the ground and someone's on top punching down the whole time. When you go to get up, nope, you got to hear some more. To me, that's what it's got to be like, because you got a lot of thick skulls in this country. Attach, how do you get your shoulders bigger? You live totally different than what everybody else says. And I only knew that because I've got torn rotator cuff bad in this arm and a GH tear in this shoulder. So that kept me from doing traditional, like, presses up like this or presses out like I can't do any pressing, period. I can't even do regular curls because it hurts this shoulder. Actually, both shoulders hurt now if I do curls. So what I had to do is I had to modify my shoulder plan, and my shoulders always, they sucked. They just did. And once I modified it, that's when they really blew up. So soon, it will be soon because I've got it pretty much down what I need to say. I'm going to be putting together my muscle fast program. That's what I called my old one. And I'm going to have a special soldier. I'm going to have a special soldier in there. A special shoulder section where I give details with what I do. It's a lot of volume is what it is. Not necessarily heavy, but a lot of volume. But once I switched, they blew up. And now I think it's probably the best feature I have as far as things blowing up like that. So Good night, Mike. Glad you were here. Thanks for keeping us all up to date. I'm greatly looking forward for 12 hours from now. I can tell you that. I'm glad I'm not the only one thinking the same way. The problem, vintage, I'm going to have to go out tonight to the store for a little bit of stuff anyway. Tried taking vitamin C. My mom kept sinus infection, etc. She started taking the C and never had another issue with sinuses. The problem is I can't find vitamin C. I can find ascorbic acid, but that's not vitamin C. I just ate my last citrus today. I get these little, they're like oranges, but they're smaller. Not tangelos. What are they? They call them cuties. I don't know what that means, but I love them. And they're small. And this is the rough time of year where they don't taste as good. February is the best time. I don't know why, but February they're great. Well, I know why, because hot climates, that's when they're ready. But I ate my last ones, and that's where I'm getting my C from. I got to get a lot more, though. Did I hear about that suddenly fell to the ground? Guess the balloon popped. So little monkey works that way. I didn't hear about that. I really haven't been tuned in to anything lately. I've been busy with other stuff, and, I got to make colloidal silver again now because I'm out. So I've been getting that ready. Pulled out all my materials. I'm still missing one thing I got to find in storage for that. No, they're not tangerines or they're not nectarines. Clementine, that's what they are. I think that's what they are. Clementines, very good. Okie B and Anna. I think that's what they are. Yes, I did see Brazil today. See, the people overseas, they're awake a lot more than we are. Brazil, even Australia now. That you have both extremes there. You have people now starting to protest that, but you have people on the other side who are seeking asylum out of the country. Think about that, seeking asylum out of the country because it's so tyrannical. The Netherlands, they're awake. Paris, France, they're awake. Italy, they're awake. Massive protests. In fact, was it in, where was it? Where they actually pushed the police back. The police had to retreat. It wasn't violent, but the police just had to retreat. They had to go up a escalator to get away from the people. That was Paris. Pine needle tea. Oh, good to know. Oh, you know where else I can get vitamin C? I'm glad you brought that up. The highest source, in fact, I believe, of vitamin C that you can get in any food is peppers, like green peppers, not the hot peppers. The green and red regular peppers, they're loaded with vitamin C, much more than citrus. I forgot about that. Didn't know about the pine needle tea. I appreciate that. Yeah, there you go, vintage bell peppers. I saw UK protests centered around satanic ritual abuse. Americans could never. Yeah, for real. You got that, Okabe? For real. Not yet. We're the most asleep, most tyrannic people, and all this tyranny over us. Think about it. The land of the free and the home of the brave, right? It's the home of the tyrannized and the wimps scared to death driving in a car with a mask on. CDC doesn't say you have to do that. People at the gym with paper towels in their hands, squirting stuff on them, doing the handles, and they do their leg raises. And then when they're done, they carefully take their hands around so they keep their hands never touch the equipment itself. It's like, how can these people live? They must live in fear every moment they're awake. Michelle Joy can't stomach Scott McKay. I just found it useless. I didn't find him horrible or anything like that. I just, to me, it was a waste of time. Take the peels of 2 grapefruit, 2 lemons, and boil them for 2.5 hours. Yes, Maria. Yes, you are absolutely correct. 2 grapefruit, 2 lemons, and boil them for 2.5 hours. Yes, don't you then take it as a tea, Maria? I'm going to do that, actually. I'm going to give me some grapefruit and lemons and do that. Thank you very much. Yes, it could be. Our society systematically dumbed us down. And we've allowed it, slowly but surely, for convenience. We've allowed our kids, they allowed us to be indoctrinated in the 50s and 60s and 70s. So they didn't have to, whatever. The idea was nobody has to stay home now because you can just send your kids to public education. And then people stopped paying attention to the public educators. Now you got these freaks that are teaching people. You've seen the Project Veritas stuff and other stuff. Freaks teaching our kids. Freaks. Now you can do whatever you want in your life. I don't care if you identify as one of the teachers. Was it one of the teachers identified as a bug? Was that one of the teachers? Anyway, I don't care. Keep it to yourself. You're not hired to give that type of advice or that type of teaching to our children. Remember when I was going to school, my parents had to sign a paper just for sex education that showed you the different body parts for male and female. That was the extent of sex education and how you get pregnant and how it can cause diseases if it's unprotected. That was the extent of sex education. Now in kindergarten and first grade, they're encouraging the kids to identify as the other sex. Are you serious? Oregano, 78%. I've got it, J. Mick. I've been down in it like crazy. I think that's why I feel good. Chase Bank has changed my account, starting to charge $12 a month fee. Not good enough to make money off my money, but now they want to charge me to make money off me. Thieves. Enough is enough. You know who the absolute worst is? As far as I know, the absolute worst is U.S. Bank. They will charge you a fee if you get in line at the bank. That is what my understanding, Paul, yes. Allegedly, Joe Rogan is unvaxxed and treated himself with ivermectin successfully. You need to watch this link that I just left there that doctors have written to the AMA. I cannot talk about it here. There's fifth grade textbooks that have kinky sex sections. So fifth grade, you're talking 10, 11-year-olds. Unbelievable. Tash says, good luck getting ivermectin from a pharmacy. Many are refusing to give it out, even though you have a script. My son has a script for ivermectin. His wife went to several pharmacies and said, no, we can no longer get that for you. One pharmacist told her directly, they stopped us from giving it to you. Go to a compound pharmacy. So compound pharmacies were closed yesterday because of the holiday. Today they opened. She called a compound pharmacy. They said, yes, we'll have it tomorrow for you. So he'll get it tomorrow. So much for freedom of choice, for treating yourself. Paul Crane. I can't, that's going against CDC guidelines. I have an answer for you. Hold on. I do have an answer for you. In fact, they gave it to me yesterday. Someone in the chat. Go to I can get it to open. America's AMER. In fact, I'll type it in. America's Frontline Doctors .org/treatments. Try that one. There's the answer to your question, Paul. It literally is the answer to your question. Country Boy, I'm glad you brought that up now. People finding out that STDs and God only knows what else was used to control population, and that's a fact. Yeah, and they tried to control the homosexual population with another disease, and Bill Gates single-handedly, allegedly, tried to totally control the population in Africa. That's why the people over there know. When they come and say, we're going to give you something. I think I showed it on the stream. Yeah, I did show it. Quite a few streams ago now, where it was some country, I think it was in Africa, and it was a 3-story school building. And they told them at the school, this is a place where Bill Gates had previously been doing his work. And they said, you have to get this shot before you can go home. The kids went nuts. They started jumping off even the 2nd floor onto the ground to get out of there. They got away. The kids got away. They knew. They're smart. The dumb people here, they line up for it. A compound pharmacy is like a regular pharmacy, but they mix things together usually. Special creams, special compounds that have to be put in special application devices or very personalized to the person in some way. They carry the outlier type of prescriptions. They carry the regular ones too. You can get regular prescriptions through them. But their specialty is getting things that most people don't normally get. In fact, there was some cream I had to get one time, and it had to be through a compounding pharmacy. In fact, this thing I had to get for my fingers, I eventually did find it at a pharmacy, but I was told a compounding pharmacy was where I had to go. It was this tape. It's this tape that has a drug on it. And it looks like Scotch tape, and you put it on there, and you keep it on when you sleep at night for 12 hours, and it gets rid of this dermatitis that I get on my fingers once every 2 or 3 years. And it's very expensive, but you can almost not get it anywhere except for a compound pharmacy. Some things you can only get at a compound pharmacy. People that get testosterone replacements as a special cream. They have these gel packets or something, not that. But the doctor might prescribe a certain, like you need whatever milligrams per whatever instead of what's in the normal packets. They'll call a compounding pharmacy for you and say, hey, I want this specific amount of this drug in a cream for this patient, and they will mix it up. So that's basically what a compounding pharmacy is. Hopefully that helped. You know what? Let me see what the definition of compounding pharmacy is. I'm interested in that. I had you tune in this stream tonight so you could get the definition of compounding pharmacy. It gives me ones that are close to me. Pharmaceutical compounding is the science responsible for the creation of customized medication. Compounded medications are created by combining individual ingredients in the exact strength and dosage form required by the patient and their own unique needs. How's that? I did pretty good with that. I remember the first time I heard about it. It was like, what the hell is a compounding pharmacy? It's not like compounding interest. Country Boy says, "Did you changed your picture, didn't you, Country Boy? What are these people going to learn? Everyone wasn't meant to drink the Kool-Aid. Those African kids were smart. Hide the puppies. Here comes Cruella. Cruella DeVille. And I only know that from having kids. Which one was into that? My daughter. She was into that. Was that Snow White? Yeah, it's the Americans that are asleep, because we're the only ones that have a media under Bill Clinton was made so you cannot sue them for defamation. You can't sue them for telling a lie. And so that's what they do. They defame and they lie. Only in this country. Wonder why. Wonder who got a contribution to get reelected. Yeah, OKB. People would follow the arrows on the ground straight into a box cart. Yay, field trip. Hey, that looks like a good link, Pirate Pete. Oh, that's right, 101 Dalmatians. That's right. Of course, they always had their favorites. That was not her favorite. Her favorite was, I can't remember. Oh, it was Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. That was her favorite. You know what was weird about my daughter? She likes stuff like that, Beauty and the Beast and 101 Dalmatians and Snow White or whatever. And the Great Escape movie. You know, the one with all the big actors in it. About the Great Escape in World War II. I happened to be watching it one night. And she was, I don't know how old she was, 5 or 6. And I thought she was taking a nap in the bed beside me. But she was actually up watching it. And I got tired. I went to turn it off. She goes, "No, keep it on, Daddy." I was like, "What?" Anyway, she loved it. She loved it. She watched it over and over again. Little Mermaid VHS video sold for $4,500. Did I tell you guys what my one son, Zach, is doing with horses? Not real horses, virtual horses. Virtual horses. They're not even real. This is his full-time job. He quit his 2 other jobs. He trades virtual horses. He buys them cheap and sells them more expensive. Nobody even bets on these horses. They do race. You can race the horse, and if it wins, you can win a prize, but you have to pay an entry fee to enter this virtual horse. Hey, Kay, yeah, if you could send me the brand name of the one you used. I'm kind of worried, though, about those side effects that other people talked about the eyes, clouding of the eyes and myopia. I'll have to do research on that. But I would be interested, Kay, in the exact type you use, or exact brand name. Jason Frew. You know what? I think I watched it 20 times when she was that age, whatever that age was. It was over and over. And what's funny is lately, they had some kind of, she lives in New York now, her and her husband. She's a physician's assistant, indoctrinated. She's the only one in my family that's got the, you know what. Anyway, she said in this game, it came up, trivia game, what was the name of the 3, it was, the title was the Great Escape. It was a trivia, some kind of thing, and the Great Escape was the title of, sort of like with Jeopardy, to give you the title. And she was like, "Oh yes, we're going to get this one. I know this one. It's one of my favorite movies." And it was like, what was the name of the 3 tunnels that they built? I said, "Oh, you got that one right." She goes, "No, I couldn't remember it." And so she said, "Do you know?" I said, "Yeah, Tom, Dick, and Harry." That had who was in that? It was Donald Pleasance, James Gardner, Steve McQueen. I can picture the other people, but I can't think of their names. I've never been much into virtual horse racing. Sounds very cool, being the breeder, not gambler. Yeah, the thing is they anyway. Thanks, John. How does one get into the horse trading? Well, here's what he had to do. Now, my son, Zach, who you've never met, he is a genius when it comes to making money. He just is. When Bitcoin and all that first came out, he was making money hand over fist. I said, how do you know when to buy and sell it? He said, I don't care if it goes up or down. I was like, well, how are you making money? He was making money on the arbitrage, meaning if it cost you $110 to get $100 worth of Bitcoin because of the fees, he figured out a way he could get it for $105 and then give it to somebody for the $110, or maybe even a discount. He's still making a few dollars. And he was making tons of money doing that because he was doing it over and over and over and over again. Well, this virtual horse racing, check this out. He calls me up one day. He says, Dad, what happens? Now, he's 25. He just graduated college. He said, Dad, what happens if you take out a bunch of loans and then you can't pay them back? I said, what kind of loans? He said, just personal loans, whatever. I said, not backed by anything? Like you're not getting a house or a car? He said, no, just personal loans. I said, the only thing you can do then is declare bankruptcy. He said, okay. He said, well, if this doesn't work, I guess that's what I'll have to do. I was like, okay. He's an adult. He can do what he wants. So he gets $30,000 in personal loans. That's the thing about getting into this, Maria. It takes a lot of money. Because these virtual horses, they're like $6,000, $10,000, whatever. And there's a certain minimum you have to buy in. Anyway, he gets the $30,000. And I'm not going to tell you how he does it because I don't want to give it away because it's his secret. But I know what it is. It's brilliant. But anyway, he finds horses that are underpriced. He buys them, and then he relists them at the fair market price, and he makes money off of it. The other day, he found a horse. This was the most expensive, so he was a little worried. It was $62,000. $62,000 for a virtual horse, guys. He listed it for $69,000, thinking he's going to make $7,000. He woke up a couple days later in the morning, because he said usually it happens in the middle of the night, these transactions. Someone bought it for $80,000. He made $18,000 on a virtual horse. So he's been doing this for a month and a half. He's made about $200,000. And I said, well, you think this will continue forever? He said, no, it'll stop. And he said, but my goal is I want to make $5 million, and then I'll be good. I was like, yeah, that would be good for me. Who are the 6 downs? You better not be trolling. Oh, DCM. 1990 Playboy has Trump on the cover. I am the whole year sealed, brand new. Oh, very nice. That'll be worth something. Watch Steve McQueen, make that motor jump, cycle jump for 40 times. Yeah, he actually did that himself. There was no stuntman. I think he got hurt doing it once. I'm not positive, but I think that's what he said. I don't think they were saying people putting it in the eyes was causing it. It was a side effect of using it. Anyway, I would definitely look into it. I would definitely will. But anyway, that's what my son is doing right now. It was like, yeah, I can understand you quitting your $2,000 a month job or $4,000 a month job, whatever it was, to make $250,000 or 200 some thousand in a month and a half. Yeah, that's nice. So he's paid off all his loans. So he's got nothing to lose now. And all of this is in ether. It's not cash. He can't. Well, he can, but he has to wait a certain amount of time because of tax ramifications to cash it out. He says as soon as he converts it to U.S. dollars, there's tax ramifications. I was like, well, who's going to report virtual horses? He said, no, I'm not going to play games with the IRS. I'll report it. I was like, okay, good for you. Let's just see. Your son is really tech savvy. That was his major. He's actually applied for, and I think he withdrew the application. He was going to be one of the people that kept the servers running at Amazon. So he's into that type of deal. What's it called? Where you're the person that services the main servers of a big company. Bitcoin is similar to the stock market. The treasury needs to leave my dead president notes alone. I'm also especially with hustle money. They're trying to get rid of those notes, aren't they? So they know everything you're doing. At some point, when you teach others how to do it, yes, but I don't think anybody. I don't know, James Way. He asked if I was interested in this. Not exactly what he's doing, because he's got this market cornered. But something similar. And he also asked Michael, my other son, if he was interested in it. It's something that has to be developed. And I said, yeah, I'd take a look at it. And so did Michael. So he is working on something. He'll get a piece of that pie too. But he's working on something to where we can be involved in something similar. But he hasn't got it completed yet. So we'll see. What do they do with these virtual horses? It's ridiculous, Armor of Light. They don't do anything with them. They just trade them. It's like, to me, I said, have you ever heard of the pet rock? I said this to Zach. Have you ever heard of the pet rock? He said, yeah, I heard you talk about it before. I said, yeah. What it was is they took rocks. They put them in a box. They gave names. And they sold them for outrageous amounts of money. Remember Cabbage Patch dolls? I said, to me, this is even worse. These things aren't even real. They're called ETF, not ETFs, electronic something entities. That's all they are. They're cartoons. They're not real. There's nothing. He produces zero. Nothing. The whole thing produces nothing. But people got too much money. They're willing to pay $60,000 for this, or $80,000 they're willing to pay for a virtual horse, which you'd probably have to race it 10 million times to get your $80,000 back. I don't get it. But as long as people are stupid, might as well make money on them. No, it's not money laundering. That's for sure. It could be, though. He kind of explained to me, he said that it's definitely traceable, trackable. That's why he doesn't want to play games with the IRS. Okay, James, I'll keep you in the loop. It's laundry. Good point, Danny. Why haven't they? Why haven't they used this miracle mRNA vaccine technology to make a vaccine for AIDS? That's a good question. I guess maybe Fauci didn't think about that yet. AIDS vaccine coming. See George Webb. That is the goal. To me, one of the other little details I didn't go into that makes me think this is going to happen very soon is we have this September 15th deadline for the military to have to get it. That's almost like a do not pass go, do not collect $200, go directly to jail type of situation. That's got to be fixed before that's enforced. There you go. Thank you. NFTs, non-fungible tokens, Twisted Clown. Non-fungible tokens. A plain domain said it too. That's exactly what it is. George Webb, he's on, well, he was on YouTube. Anybody know if he's still on YouTube? I think his channel is called George Webb. He does a lot of things live from DC, or at least he did. I don't know what he did. I haven't seen him in a year and a half at least. A friend just invented a crypto trading platform in 1 week. One guy put $18,000 into it. Yeah, you know, Zach has talked about that too. About creating not only a trading platform, but a anybody can create a crypto. Anybody. So he's talked about sort of put that together. Now, see, I'm into actual horse betting, and we might work on something, me and Zach, with something like that too. There's a product out there that I've been looking for forever. I think it's called Bet Mix. I'll actually show it to you guys, if that's what it is. Yeah, Bet Mix handicapping software for horse racing. Now, the handicapping software is cool, but they just came out with something that is way cooler than the handicapping. See if I can find it. I've never looked. I've seen a video on it, but I've never. Actually, I don't see it here. What they've done is they've taken things like, if you just bet the favorite over and over and over at this track, how would you do? Or if you bet the second place horse or the third place, or if you bet somebody that's between 7 and 9 to 1, what they've done is they've taken the handicapping aspect of it and turned it into statistics, like all the horse racing stuff. That is fascinating to me. George Webb has caught it for the past 4 years. What's he calling for now? Has he seen anything coming? Thank you, Mrs. Marks. He can be found on neighborhoodnews.com and other locations. He's still on YouTube. Corona YouTube today's show is a must-watch. Yeah, I liked George Webb. I just stopped watching him only because when I started tapering, I was watching too much. I was too involved in it. So I had to start cutting them out. NFTs, non-fungible. Fungible means you can divide it up. Like money is fungible. You can have a dollar bill, but you can divide it into 2 50-cent pieces. That type of thing. And a token is something that's online, I guess. If we were to go worldwide, I think it is worldwide, think about, or close to it, about everyone going back to gold, eagle mint coins, and silver mint coins. Is that plausible? U.S. using precious metal mint coins. I think it's probable, Country Boy, but not with gold. The way I see it, and I could be wrong, but the way I see it is there isn't enough gold for that anymore. Plus, gold has to be revalued so high today to cover debts and things like that. And even if you wiped it all out, how fast they would accrue again. Of course, under a new system, you wouldn't have a Federal Reserve. Let's assume that it's a good system. In any case, because things are so expensive today relative to Roman era when they had gold coins and things like that. If you do 20 trillion in trade with countries around the world, you'd have to revalue gold to, let's say, I don't know, $100,000 an ounce, that type of thing. So even a 1 gram little token, 1 gram little coin or whatever, wouldn't even be a coin, 1 gram little piece of metal would be worth thousands of dollars. So nobody would actually want to carry that around because of something little tiny like that you'd lose anyway. So I see the governments of the world using gold to settle transactions. Whereas at the end of the year, we go to the UK and the UK comes to us and we're like, okay, UK, you imported $1 billion more of product than we imported from you, so you owe us $1 billion. Well, they would transfer us $1 billion of gold, and that's how we would settle the accounts. That's the way it should be done. Whereas the people on the street would use silver. Same thing. You have silver certificates that are actually backed by silver the way they used to be. And silver and gold are fungible. They can be divided up. And it's real assets. So I see the people using silver, but the governments of the world using gold. Now, you can own gold, but you won't be able to afford much. And silver, too, would have to be revalued upward, big time. Maybe 500 times what it is right now. Maybe 1,000 times what it is right now. I don't know, but I think that's coming. I think when all the crap hits the fan, people are going to clamor back for real. To me, Bitcoin isn't real. And it will eventually go to its intrinsic value, which is nothing. Yes, I do, Country Boy. They'll be able to make different size denominations, gold and silver, yep. However, like I said, if 1 silver ounce is worth, let's say, $500, most people aren't going to want to carry that much silver. So that's when you get into like the old time silver dimes and nickels and quarters, not the nickels, but dimes and quarters and stuff like that. For example, a dime today, a 1964 dime and before in the United States, that's worth $1.75 roughly in silver. So that's highly probable. But I think they're going to want to have mostly certificates because silver in particular is becoming more of a industrial metal because it's used in computers. But who knows what the new technology is going to bring? We'll see. But I think people are going to want to go back down to things that are real and tangible. Federal Reserve note is worth less than the cotton it's printed on. Well, thank you, Armor Light. Yeah, I could use the prayers. And I don't have the allergy symptoms right now, which tells me it's something different. So what I should grab right now is, while I'm thinking about it, sorry about that, guys. My trusty oregano oil with mine is 75 to 85%. Is that what it says? So I haven't taken any since this morning. I'm going to take 4, that's like the most I ever take at one time. The one thing you never want to do with this, guys, you do not want to have to be belching up oregano. Ugh, not good. Hello, effed up world. Good night, Ben. I'm going to go too. An hour and a half is actually longer than I thought I was going to go. I thought I was just going to do my little spiel and talk a few minutes and we'd be done. BitChute is censoring. Everybody's censoring. That's why I think you got to eventually get onto your own platform on your own server. Thank you, C. Full. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Seathal, oh good. Dried and grated. Orange peel is an excellent and easy source of vitamin C. Have you ever tried Vicks Vapor Rub? I haven't tried Vicks Vapor Rub in forever. But I can imagine that smell just from you saying it. Thank you, Mrs. Marks. The agent said sauce will clear your nose. This is actually the worst it's been right now. But it'll be all right. Trump card. Yeah, I know there is tons and tons and tons of wall bricks under the Vatican that are made of gold. I'm not saying there isn't enough of it. I still think it's going to have to be greatly revalued. Or they have to say, okay, everything that now costs $10,000, we reduce to $1,000. Everything $1,000, we reduce to $100, or whatever the number is. I'm not actually congested. It's just running. Thank you, Okabe. Yeah, my apologies for the nose problems. Auto Hoax. Thanks for reminding me. I got to get that email going. I'm going to make it my goal the next time, which I think will be Friday. Now, if something big happens between now and then, I'll be back. Assuming they don't take the platform down, because I see that as part of what has to happen at some point. Don't know about that, Okabe. Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate it. Thanks for everybody's prayers. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Good night, and hope you found it interesting. I hope what I think is coming is coming. But I definitely wanted to tell you guys about it instead of saying after the fact, I knew this was coming, I just never told you. Like I said, I actually go out on the limb. I don't care. I don't care. Everybody's wrong. It's the people that are wimps who are afraid to get caught being wrong. I'm not afraid. You can't learn unless you admit that you're wrong, right? I was wrong about the Earth being a spinning ball. Yes, bricks and brick walls, sidewalls, ceiling, floor, bricks for, what was it, 18 miles we were told? Gold. Think they didn't know how to collect money at the Vatican? Good night, everyone. Good night, Jason. God bless. And we'll be back Friday at the latest, I think. So, good night. Stay safe. Pay particular attention to the next few days, guys. Let's see what comes up. It would be interesting because the Revelation 12 sign technically happened at the end, the night after the Feast of Tabernacles ended. That would actually be Thursday. Would it be Wednesday, Thursday? Anyway, supposedly something big's coming tomorrow morning from what Mike Ball said. So we'll see. That's right. Make sure you follow CDC guidelines. Thank you, OKB. Always do that. Follow your doctor's advice. Follow the government's advice. They know best. They know best. They control your mind. The government. That's what it means. And we've handed that control to them, so we should be controlled. All right, guys. God bless. Good night. Thanks, Kay. Appreciate it. And thanks, Iron. Me too. We'll talk soon, guys. Bye-bye.